What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Fogo, and the update is here. And I gotta say, man, look at this background. I know everybody wants to look at Leona, but look at this background. This is absolutely gorgeous. You got the historic bar in the background. I freaking love it. I think this looks absolutely awesome. This was pretty unexpected. I know it's nothing big, but it's a nice little change. It's nice to have a change of scenery once in a while. It really just improves the overall quality of the game. The next thing I want to touch on is the friendly matches. Now, this is something that I missed in my previous video, is that, you know, I was sitting there talking about, oh, we need to be able to have everybody at the same awaken level. We need to be able to, you know, have the same cards and all this other goofy stuff that I kept mentioning in the other video. And lo and behold, my blind ass did not see all that wonderful text that was in the notes that you can actually change all this crap. This is so awesome. Look at this. You can set it to level 70, level 90, awaken level 1, awaken level 10, and so on and so on and so on. You can adjust your HP adjustment or just leave it as it is. You can apply the battle cards or not apply them. You can apply the imprint zones or not apply them. This is freaking amazing. Listen, everybody, this is pretty damn awesome. There is some things that you can really do with this that can really provide a lot of quality of life for the KOF community. Well, not maybe quality of life, but just improvements in having fun in the game. I know there's there's no really good rewards in here, but now you can come in here, you can have fun with your friends, and you don't have to worry about having a super strong character, right? You don't have to worry, like everybody's going to be on even Stevens, right? If you're the one setting this up, you're the one in charge of how to set this up. And man, I got some ideas rolling around in my brain for the future of KOF as far as these friendly matches are concerned. Trust me, we'll get into it in another video, but I'm really excited about this. I think this is so awesome. In fact, this is going to motivate me to probably want to play PvP even more, just with my friends. Not so much championship, but I mean, obviously we're still probably going to have lag issues and maybe desyncs and things of that nature. But man, this is a massive step in the right direction, and oh, I'm so happy about it. I'm so happy about this. Like, you know, for all of you that don't know, PvP used to be my favorite thing in this game, and now to see that maybe we can, you know, it can come back and everybody can be on a level playing field, I'm super happy about it. Super stoked. Freaking wonderful. Now we get into the SS fighters. Now, we already talked about Kyo and Iori, and Kyo isn't still an absolute god. He's not the #1 yellow, but he is up there. Although, now that King's in here, another yellow, she looks pretty strong. As a matter of fact, let's talk about those characters. Let's talk about them a little bit. So we'll start off with Yuri. Yuri is a green attack, and she has an increased all-fighter attack by 45% and a PG rate by 20%. This is an amazing leadership because this leadership works on all the BS characters, all the SS characters, and all of the all-star characters. That is insane. It's going to be an amazing leadership, especially for the Immortal Dungeons. And then with her core effects, she gets a 30% PG rate, which is a thumbs up, critical rate increase, blast skill increase, 20% burn damage increase, penetration increase, and then she deals burn damage equal to 70% of attack every 1 second for 3 seconds upon landing an attack. And this is where it gets really interesting for Yuri. She removes super armor, hyper armor from the attacker and gains hyper armor for 3 seconds when attacked by an enemy with super armor or hyper armor on a 15-second cooldown. So whenever someone has super armor or hyper armor and they attack her, she just takes it away from them and she gains hyper armor herself. Very powerful for PvP. And then she also has a shield that absorbs 7% when attacked with HP is 50% or more, which is awesome because this is a shield that actually will engage at 100% HP all the way down to 50%, and then under 50% she won't have a shield. She also gains power when she's guarding, and she also gets a decreased damage received by 70% for 3 seconds when accumulated attacks received, guard included, reach 5 times. So even when she's guarding, if she gets hit 5 times, the decreased damage received is going to prop up, and this is on a 20-second cooldown. Now, this is where it gets really interesting for Yuri and as probably King too, is that, you know, when you first start charging this skill, it gives you super armor, which is nice. That was something I was really curious about. You know, whenever you're charging that skill, you know, are you going to be able to get interrupted? And the answer is no. Now, I'm not really sure how it's going to work out with characters that have removed hyper armor and super armor from their skills. I mean, I don't know, because, you know, generally the way it works with the remove buff is like whenever someone's attacking you, you can remove their buff. Like, say a character has hyper armor and they attack another character that has remove hyper armor. If the other character is attacking them and then the character with remove hyper armor attacks them at the same time, then they can remove their hyper armor. They don't just remove it when they're not attacking. And since Yuri is just going to be standing there and charging, then they're not going to be able to remove the super armor. But I mean, we'll see how it plays out, guys. I mean, there's a lot of things to think about when it comes. This is a new effect. We're going to have to see how it plays in PvP and PvE. But whenever you start charging this skill, it gives her an increased target damage received by 20% for 7 seconds, which is awesome, and deals additional damage equal to 400% of attack. That's a lot. But when you charge the skill, then, and by the way, look at the inflict damage. So when you first hit the charge, it inflicts damage equal to 743% of attack. When you charge it up, 1,003% of attack, which is a big bump. And then increases target damage received by 30%. So you're going to gain another 10% increased target damage received, right? It's 20% if you just tap the skill. It's going to be 30% if you hold it down. And then you deal additional damage equal to 600% of attack. Instead of 400%, you're getting 600%. So it's a big buff, but not only that, you also get increased penetration by 1,500 for 7 seconds. And that increased penetration is going to be massive. That is going to lower the defensive stats of your opponents. She is going to do a lot of damn damage whenever she charges that thing. And then her second skill, she has an attack buff, which is awesome. She got a 70% chance to remove super armor and hyper armor with this skill. And see, this is what I'm talking about when I say she's pretty interesting, because in her core passive, she can actually remove hyper armor and super armor, right? She just gets it. If they use a skill with hyper armor, super armor on her, she just takes it away and it's on a 15-second cooldown. And not only that, but she's got a damn skill that can do it too. 70% chance, which is pretty high. And then her third skill deals burn damage. Well, it's got dot explosion. So she gains hyper armor on this skill, and it has dot explosion on it. Deals burn damage to go 3.8 times the remaining burn damage. Now, the thing about this is, Yuri, unfortunately, only has burn. This was something that some of us were a little worried about. We wanted, double dots on these characters, but unfortunately, in Yuri's case, she only has a single dot, just burn. And the thing about this is, if you use that dot explosion, it will remove the burn, which sucks. So whenever you're trying to break the meter against Guild Raid and you apply your burn, if you use this skill, you're going to remove it. So it's going to be like you'll be able to use it. You'll be able to use it, if you're trying to break the meter for a different dot. So if you apply darkness and then you use this skill, maybe it'll do enough damage to break the meter. So we're going to have to see how that plays out. And then her finisher, she gains 15% power and increased attack by 15% for 10 seconds upon use. So that's actually pretty damn potent that her default actually does that. Gives her that gain power. So she's going to be able to go into her her 3PG very quick afterwards. And she gets the increased attack. Wow, very nice. So let's check her out. Let's check these skills out. So this is something new because we have new charge skills. This is something new. So whenever you hit the first active skill, this is what she does when you don't charge it. You just tap it. Right? She just throws out the Yuriken right there, right? And whenever the Kyoken, sorry. And then whenever you charge it, this is what it looks like. That's max, right? Now we saw in the preview before, she kind of waves her arm around when she's charging. Okay. Then her second skill, that's the skill that actually removes hyper armor and super armor, and it's cool. I really love the animations at the end, right? Whenever she drops those blasts down at the bottom, that explosion, it looks really nice. Really, really cool. And then, of course, we got the hyper armor skill that does the old slap a tap a tap a tap. That's a cool skill. You gotta love it, man. It's just something about Yuri's funny. And then we go into her default. Not bad. I mean, it's a little short. And then we go into her 3PG. Now, this is just funny. And this is a long dance. Not bad. Little patty pat pat. Not bad. Little wink at the end. Yuri style. Good stuff, my friends. Good stuff. Very long 3PG. Very interested to see how strong she's going to be. But, I mean, Yuri looks like an amazing PvP character. She's going to be good in PvE. I mean, she's an SS character. She's cost 65. She's going to be strong. Obviously, from looking at her kit, she looks pretty OP. But I think I think she's going to shine more in PvP and really be great for Immortal Dungeons because of her leadership. Then we get into King. Now, King looks pretty ridiculous, guys. She's got the increased yellow element fighter attack by 65%. I want you to think about some of the yellow characters that are in this game. Honoka, Kyo, Chrysalid, 3 OP key characters that she can buff up. Wow. I mean, there's other ones as well, but those three really stand out in the top of my mind. By the way, King looks absolutely luscious. And then we get into the core effects. She's got that sweet 30% PG rate. Now, King, in my opinion, has a better PvE kit than Yuri. I mean, she's got the increased damage by 18% on a critical hit, which means, pow, she's going to hit like a damn truck. She got the attack increase. She got increased darkness attack by 15%. We all know that she had dark. She has a critical rate bump. She got strike skill damage increase. Now, check this out. Increase active skill damage dealt to enemies affected by darkness by 120%. Active skills, guys. That means that it's the first, second, or third skill. It doesn't matter. She's going to get that buff on all those skills. And then she has a 30% chance to deal additional damage equal to 700% of attack upon landing an attack on a guard included on a 13-second cooldown. 700%. Whoa. And then she has a 70% chance to remove a shield. So this is brand new, my friend. So, I mean, you know, I said the thing about Yuri maybe being better in PvP, but honestly, the fact that she has a 70% chance to remove a shield, I actually missed this the first time I previewed this, that's OP. Because she's the only character in this game right now that can actually do that. So in PvP, this will be the only character that can actually strip that shield away, and you can start dealing insane damage to those opponents. Wow. And this is on a 15-second cooldown. Holy crap. And then she resets her strike active skill cooldowns upon landing tornado kick combo and increases the target damage received by 30% for 5 seconds. So there's that increased target damage received. She's got the increased damage on a critical hit. She's got the gain power. She's got the same core effect as Yuri as far as the gain power when guarding, and then the decreased damage received by 70%, which is awesome. And the fact that she's a balance type, she's going to have higher defensive stats than Yuri. Her survivability will probably be a little bit better. And then she did, you know, the same as Yuri. She gets to charging whenever you start charging the skill, or she gets super armor when she starts charging the skill. And then she inflicts 749% of attack to the enemy when you just tap the charge, and has an increased target damage received by 25%. Now, something to keep in mind with her kit versus Yuri is King's kit has an increased target damage received in her core passive. On top of that, she also has it in her skill. And she deals all of that dark damage based on her attack. I mean, she just looks more OP as far as PvE, definitely. At least in my opinion, from what I'm seeing so far. She deals an additional damage equal to 350% of attack upon landing. So it's not 400% like Yuri, but I mean, you know, she's got the double increased target damage received. So yeah. And then she's got inflict damage to 1,049% of attack to the enemy when you fully charge it, and increased target damage received by 30%, right? And then deals an additional damage equal to 550% of attack upon landing a skill. And then she has the same penetration as Yuri with the increased penetration by 1,500 for 7 seconds. So she doesn't quite have the deal additional damage equal to a certain percentage as Yuri. I mean, Yuri's got 600%, well, on a fully charged skill, whereas King is 550. But when you look at the rest of King's hit, the double increased target damage received, the 18% increased damage on a critical hit, those things make a huge difference. The damage based on dark that she gets is just insane, guys. And then her second skill, she has an attack buff. She applies darkness for 7 seconds, right? What else she got here? And then she can also stun the target even if they're guarding. So, I mean, again, that's really going to be good for PvP, and it's going to be good for a lot of PvE content. Anytime you have CC, that's a good thing in PvE or PvE content. And then she also has, on her third skill, she gets hyper armor and super armor, and she has a 60% chance to remove a buff. So it's not as high as Yuri's. Yuri's got, you know, the remove hyper armor, super armor from her core and on her skills, and she has a 70% chance of doing it, whereas King has a 60% chance. But I mean, I really feel like King's going to have more damage than Yuri. I mean, I'm just, you know, just from looking at this kit. And then she got the same thing with the finisher as Yuri, gains 15% power, and increased attack by 15% for 10 seconds upon use. Let's take a look at her skills. Let's take a look at these things, man. Wow. Okay, so whenever you just tap the first skill, it does the little double whop there. Pretty nice. But whenever you have it fully charged up, it changes, the color changes, which is pretty cool. Nice little touch in that marble. And she does 2 more hits, 2 more range attacks. Pretty nice. And that's going to be damn difficult to dodge too, by the way. Not bad. There's that stun. And if you notice, she gets the darkness immediately. And what that means is that darkness happens from the first high kick. So you're going to be able to cancel your skills very quickly and apply that darkness easily. You got the tornado kick combo. Not bad, not bad. There's that hyper armor. And she can remove hyper armor, super armor with this skill. Knocks them up in the air. Venom Shot. I still like that rainbow color they got on the side. That's really, really nice. Really, really cool. And then her 3PG. Now look at how long this skill is. She's kicking the hell out of him. That's a long damn skill. That's a long skill. Let's look at that one more time. And you gotta love the BGM too, by the way. Nice, nice. King Intense. Very cool. I mean, both these characters look pretty nuts. I mean, they both look very, very strong. Will they replace anybody? Will they, you know, replace the meta? I mean, there's definitely chances of it. There's definitely good chances that they can and will. I mean, I'm not sure, but I mean, I think King's probably going to be the stronger of the two as far as PvE is concerned. But I feel like Yuri might have an edge in PvP, but it's really hard to say just from looking at their skills. But they both look damn OP. They both look amazing. And then we get into their cards, and their set cards are pretty nice, I got to say. Increase, they all have attack on them, and then so you get 20%, 21% solid extra attack. And then you increase Special Signature Fighter active skill damage by 25%. So you're going to have 21% extra attack from the card stats. And then you're going to get the increased active skill damage by 25%, which is nice. And then you also get an increased attack by 20% for 5 seconds upon a Special Signature Fighter landing a blast skill. So characters with blast skills, this is really going to make a big difference for them. It's only on a 10-second cooldown. And then the PvP exclusive. And this is pretty interesting. Decreases damage received from enemies with super armor or hyper armor by 50%, which is nice. So I mean, you slap that on some of these characters and they're just going to be a lot tankier in PvP. They're going to have a lot more survivability, and yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good set. I'm not gonna lie, it's a really, really solid set for those characters. You got to remember, you know, like King and Yuri, they both get decreased damage received by 70%, right? It's on a 20-second cooldown, but still, right, along with everything else in their kit. And then it's, I mean, it's a good set, and you know, it's definitely going to be applicable to all the SS fighters, right? And we got a lot of OP SS fighters to begin with. And then the option card increases attack, decrease skill cooldown, and then increases SS fighters critical damage by 20%. So this is going to make a lot of your SS fighters hit a lot harder. I mean, can you imagine this option card on SS Honoka with the extra critical damage on her 3PG? And then if you have the DOA 6 set on top of that, woof, scary, my friends, scary. The 3PGs for Yuri are both the same for Yuri and King. They both increase attack by 10% and penetration by 400, which, remember, they also get an extra 1500 of penetration for 7 seconds if they have a fully charged first skill. And then King has the same thing. Really love the artwork in all of these. Very, very beautiful. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, you know, should you pull for these characters? Shouldn't you? I mean, I'm going to pull for them because I'm a content creator. I'm absolutely going to pull for them. One, I think they're both looking pretty OP, look pretty awesome. Aesthetically, I think they look awesome. I think Netmarble did an amazing job on them and on their skills. They look awesome. But my advice to people always is, you know, Netmarble just gave us free 7,000 rubies. My advice to everybody always is to go for the cards. Now, you could go for the Kyo and Iori's 3PGs if you feel that's more relevant. But something I want you guys to keep in mind when you're talking about Yuri and King is, let me show you something here really quick. Is that when it comes to these characters, let me find SS Fighter. We'll start off with Yuri, same fighter. That 3PG is going to work on all these versions of Yuri. And look what we got here. We got a Christmas version right here. Now, the reason this is important is because we have the zombie event right now, right? And we have to use specific fighters for that event. Well, whenever we get the Christmas event, which is going to be coming up, you know, here shortly, Christmas is going to be just around the corner, that 3BG might be very handy for her, and maybe it's going to help you get a BS or SS memory in the future. I can't guarantee this. I don't really know for sure, but maybe it will. And when you look at King, right, it's the same deal, my friends, right? She's got the Valentine's, right? So when Valentine's comes around, if they end up doing an event for that, and it's an event where you can get an SS or BS memory, just like they did with the zombie event, there is a chance that this character, if she has that 3PG, it's going to be a lot better and be very, very strong for that event. But I can't guarantee whether or not they're going to be throwing out, you know, more SS memories and BS memories in events during specific holidays. I don't really know what they're going to do. I have no idea. That's a risk that we all have to take as far as pulling, but I would always recommend to go for their cards. I mean, whether you go for Kyo or Iori's cards, or you go for Yuri and King's cards, I mean, I think you're going to be in pretty good shape. But overall, I'm super happy with this update. I'm so happy with the changes to friendly match. The characters look amazing. I mean, really the only thing that I don't really care for is the combining memories here. This is the only thing that I don't like. This is the only thing I don't care for. It's whatever. You guys know how I feel about it. I've spoken about it before. But other than that, I'm pretty damn happy with this update. Them cards look pretty OP. The characters look OP. And now everybody can pull for Kyo and Yuri if they choose to do that. I mean, you should always go for your favorite fighters, you know. And if you're in a position where you're actually chasing the meta, don't pull today. Wait until some reviews come out on these characters. Wait till you see some runs before you actually make a judgment call, because we really don't know when we just look at their skills. So let me know how y'all feeling about the card sets, about SS King, SS Yuri, and the changes to friendly match. Man, I'm so happy about that. And I will be doing a summoning stream tonight at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time on Twitch. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.